Lacey, I heard something about you. Is it true you don't have real parents?
What? I'm sorry, what exactly are you trying to say?
At the family introduction meeting, you called yourself Jared's sister, didn't you? But the truth is you're adopted, right? You're not even blood related to him.
What? Oh, well, it's true that I was adopted, but you're wrong about the rest. There's still a blood relationship between us. The couple who adopted me are actually my late biological father's older brother and his wife. In other words, Jared and I were cousins to begin with.
Oh, cousins. Well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't change the fact that you've got someone else's blood running through your veins. At the end of the day, you're not a real sister. You never were, and you never will be.
Excuse me, but what exactly are you trying to say here? This is your wedding day. It's supposed to be a joyous, peaceful occasion, so why would you make comments like this? Why would you go out of your way to stir up unnecessary trouble?
You really don't get it, do you? I'm saying your very presence here is the problem.
What?
You being here, it's irritating. You get on my nerves, you always have. You're just someone who lucked out and got adopted by your rich uncle and aunt. You're only where you are because of that. Because of the connections you gained from them, you were handed the Chicago branch to manage, like it was some kind of gift. Meanwhile, Jared, who's their real child, is still stuck as a department manager. That's as far as he's gotten. Your parents died, everyone pitied you, and then you were spoiled. All that sympathy turned to opportunities for you, didn't it? But let's face it, that's all it is. The world felt bad for poor orphan Lacey, and that pity carried you to where you are now. But don't you think you're taking life way too lightly? You act as if everything just naturally belongs to you. People like you disgust me. You take advantage of your tragic circumstances to climb your way up in life. You exploit everyone's kindness and sympathy, sucking up the benefits like a parasite. You're not family. People like you don't deserve to call themselves family. You don't belong here. I don't want you at my wedding. I don't want someone like you celebrating this day with us. There is no seat for you at this table. You're not blood. You're just an outsider. Leave.
What?
You heard me. Get out. Leave the venue right now. And while we're at it, you should quit the company too. That position you have, you don't deserve it. It's not yours. And just so you know, I'll be talking to Jared and his parents about dissolving your adoption. It's only right after all. You're not one of us.
Jared told me he had already explained my circumstances to you. He said he told you about my situation and the reasons I joined the company, but clearly that wasn't enough. If you're going to reject me so thoroughly, then I have nothing more to say. I have no intention of ruining your wedding day. I wouldn't want to disrupt this celebration any more than I already have, so fine, I'll leave. If that's what you want, I'll go. As for quitting the company or dissolving the adoption, those are separate matters. That's not something we can resolve here today, but for now, let's just say I'm feeling unwell and leaving the venue early. I'll make sure to say it was because of a sudden illness or poor health. I'll cover for you. But you should really watch what you say. Be careful with your words. There's no need for this to escalate further.
Oh, whatever. Sure, fine. Do what you want. You're leaving is all that matters.
Good. Then I'll go.
Yeah, bye. Good riddance.
Goodbye. Forever.
Lacey! I heard you told Mom that you're leaving the wedding because you're feeling unwell. Did you already head home?
Oh, Jared, I'm sorry about that. I think I might have been a little too tense. I ended up with this splitting headache, and I decided it would be best to leave. I feel bad about leaving an empty seat in the family section, but honestly, sitting there and trying to endure the pain would have been impossible. It would have just made a scene.
Is that really true?
What?
I'm asking if you're really not feeling well. I mean, are you really sick?
Jared, what are you saying? Why are you looking at me like that? You're starting to scare me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to come across that way. I'm not trying to scare you. It's just, when Mom told me about you leaving, Shelby was there too. At the time, she said all the right things. She told us she was disappointed to hear you wouldn't be attending. But then right after that, when she turned her back on us, I caught a glimpse of her face in the mirror on the dressing table.
Her face?
Yeah, it looked Weird. She had this faint smile on her face, almost like a smirk. It was subtle, but it didn't look right. It didn't look like someone who was genuinely disappointed. It looked off.
Jared, are you sure you're not just imagining things?
I wish I was, but it wasn't just me. Mom saw it too. So it wasn't just my imagination.
I see.
That's why I need you to tell me the truth. I don't care what it is, just be honest with me. To tell you the truth, this isn't the first time. At the family introduction meeting, there was another moment that bothered me. When you left the table after talking to Shelby, I happened to see her face. For just a split second, she looked like she was biting into something bitter. Her expression twisted just for a moment. I thought I was imagining it back then, but now...
Jared...
If you're really feeling unwell, then that's one thing, but if you're not...
I see. I didn't want to ruin your special day, Jared. That's the only reason I kept quiet. But since you're asking, there's no point in hiding it anymore.
What do you mean?
I'll send you the message history I had with Shelby earlier. Take a look at it and decide for yourself.
Understood. Send it to me right away. Lacey? The wedding's been called off. It's over.
What?
Dad and Mom just spoke to Shelby's father. That's it. It's been decided.
I see.
If Shelby tries to contact you, don't respond. Not for now, at least.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just leave it. Also, don't go back to the house in Chicago yet. But at the same time, waiting at our family home might not be a good idea either.
Wait, what do you mean?
While I was talking to Mom and Dad, one of my colleagues, who I invited to the wedding, came up to me and mentioned something concerning.
Something concerning?
I'm sorry, but I'll explain the details later. Right now, I need to deal with the venue and figure everything out.
I understand. I'll stay out of the way for now. Don't worry about me. I'll find a place to kill some time. Maybe I'll head to a cafe and catch up on work while I wait for your next message.
Thanks, Lacey. I'll talk to you soon.
Lacey, what the hell did you say to Jared? The wedding just got called off out of nowhere. This is all your fault, isn't it? Do you realize what you've done? My father is furious with me. He is blaming me for everything. Why am I the one taking all the heat? I can't even begin to understand how this is happening right now. Hey, answer me, Lacey. Don't you dare ignore me. I know you're getting these notifications. You're reading them, aren't you? Don't pretend you're not. Lacey! Damn it. Explain yourself. What the hell did you do?
Shelby, 300 missed calls to Lacey throughout the night? That is absolutely insane! You need to stop this right now!
What? I was just thinking that Lacey, who caused our engagement to fall apart, should be held responsible for it. She has to face the consequences of what she did.
Lacey is not to blame, Shelby. In fact, I'm actually somewhat grateful to her, because if it weren't for her, I might not have realized how you really feel. It's actually a good thing, believe it or not.
What? You're grateful to her? How can you say that? She's the reason everything's falling apart between us. And on top of that, I am also incredibly disappointed in you. You didn't even bother to listen to the important things I've been trying to say. You've been completely ignoring what I needed to share with you.
What? Important things? What are you talking about? You're saying I ignored something important? I don't even know what you're talking about. You didn't realize this before because your last name changed after your parents got divorced, but I found out that the part-time office worker Rachel over at the Chicago branch is actually your biological mother.
What? Wait, what? Rachel is my biological mother? You're saying that Rachel, who works as a part-timer in the office at the Chicago branch, is my real mother?
Yes, that's right. I found out through a colleague who overheard some drunken gossip at a party. It seems your mother has been working under Lacey, who is the branch manager at Chicago. So tell me, how long have you known about this, and why didn't you tell me?
Well, it's just that my mom said Lacey was being sneaky. She was acting in a way that didn't sit well with her, and she made me think that there was something fishy going on.
Sneaky? What are you talking about? How is Lacey being sneaky? You're really not making any sense here.
My mom's been really upset ever since Lacey took over the Chicago branch. She says Lacey's still too young and that she only got the position because she's been coddled and favored too much. Apparently, my mom thinks Lacey doesn't deserve to be the boss, especially at such a young age. She's worried about how the company will fare under her leadership. So she thought that as the future wife of the next president, I should convince you, the future president of the company, to demote Lacey. My mom wanted me to tell you that it would be better to take action to get rid of Lacey before things go too far.
Wait a second. You think I'm going to be the president? Who told you that?
Huh? But you're the son of the current president, aren't you? I just assumed that since your father is the current president of the company, you'd eventually take over. It's obvious, right?
Well, Shelby, that's not exactly the situation. The company was originally founded by Lacey's father, my uncle, back when the company first got started. But he and his wife tragically passed away in a car accident when the company was only in its 7th year. After their death, my father, who had experience in the same industry, stepped in and became the 2nd president of the company. Now, my father has made it clear that if Lacey is serious about continuing the family legacy, and if she truly has the talent for business, he'd love for her to take over as the 3rd president of the company.
Wait, what? Lacey's father was the one who started the company? I never knew that. That's completely new information to me.
Yes, that's right. Lacey has been involved with the company for a long time now. From her college years, she started working part-time to help out. Over time, she became more and more skilled, and by the time she graduated, she had already earned the trust of the employees. That's why, when we decided to expand into Chicago 3 years ago, my father chose Lacey to be the branch manager.
Is that true? But my mom never mentioned anything about this. Why would she keep all this information from me?
Well, that's the thing. I heard that your mother was hired as a part-timer about a year ago, and that's when she found out that I was your boyfriend. But she had no idea about the bigger picture, the full context of Lacey's role at the company.
Oh, I see. So you're saying my mom only knew part of the story and misunderstood everything? She just jumped to conclusions without understanding the full picture?
Exactly. That's why she started making all these assumptions and telling you things that weren't true. It seems like she only heard bits and pieces of the situation and formed a biased opinion based on that. I'm starting to realize now that everything she said to you was based on incomplete information, and because of that, she passed along a very distorted view of things to you.
That's just ridiculous. So you're saying it's all my mom's fault? Is that what you're implying here? She's the one who twisted everything. That's the reason we had to break up?
No, Shelby, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to point out is that you didn't take the time to listen to both sides of the story before jumping to conclusions. You've been so quick to believe everything your mom told you without ever considering the possibility that there might be another side to the situation. That's where things went wrong.
But I was just trying to trust what my mom said. How could I know any better? She's my mom. Why wouldn't I believe her?
But that's the problem, Shelby. You only heard her side of things, and you didn't even consider coming to me for clarification. It would have been much better if you had come to me or even my parents to ask for our side of the story, but you didn't. Instead, you made assumptions and jumped to conclusions without any real understanding of what was going on.
I didn't realize that I was making such a big mistake. I thought I was just doing the right thing by trusting my mom. But I see now that I didn't really think things through, and that's why this whole situation escalated the way it did.
Yes, and that's why I'm so disappointed in you. You've been so quick to judge and act on partial information, and now look at what's happened. We're on the verge of ending everything because of it.
But I never wanted any of this to happen. I didn't want to hurt you, Jared. I was just trying to do what I thought was right.
I know you probably didn't intend for things to get this bad, but the truth is you never gave me a chance to explain anything. If you had, I could have cleared up everything and we could have avoided all of this. But now it's too late. The trust is gone.
Jared, please. I really didn't mean for this to happen. Please, can we just talk about this more? Let's fix this together.
Shelby, I don't think there's anything left to fix. The damage has already been done. I've made up my mind. We'll handle everything through lawyers from now on. Goodbye, Shelby. This is it.
Jared!
I returned to Chicago and got back to my routine of calmly going about my work. But the situation around me was far from ordinary. First, Jacob, who had been caught as Shelby's biological mother's office associate, was absent without leave for a prolonged period and was eventually fired. Meanwhile, my brother was in the midst of discussions about breaking off his engagement. Shelby was quite stubborn and wasn't willing to listen, which delayed the resolution of the matter. It ended up taking 3 whole months to reach an agreement. In the end, my brother and Shelby decided that they would split the costs of the wedding that my brother had initially been paying in full. As for the cancellation fees for their honeymoon, Shelby would be the one to cover them. In a small but significant twist, my brother also ended up receiving a modest amount of compensation as part of the settlement. A little while after that, Shelby found herself deeply in debt and paid off all her outstanding amounts. She then unexpectedly showed up at her mother's place in Chicago for reasons that were unclear. To everyone's surprise, they ended up living together. The strange part was that they were both unemployed, and for 2 months they couldn't come to an agreement on who would be the one to get a job first. The situation became so contentious that eventually they were both kicked out of their apartment. Since then, I've lost track of what happened to them. The last I heard, I didn't know where they were or what they were doing. The entire series of events was a whirlwind, and everything unfolded so quickly. It felt like it was impossible to catch up. Shelby, once so determined and independent, ended up in a situation where her plans crumbled and left her with nowhere to turn. My brother, on the other hand, had tried to salvage his relationship with her for so long, but in the end, it seemed like the right decision to end it. They had both suffered in different ways. My brother had invested so much into the relationship, both financially and emotionally, and it seemed that he couldn't continue living with the betrayal of her actions. The emotional toll it took on him was clear, but the financial strain was even worse. The wedding costs alone had been a significant burden, and now with the cancellation fees for the honeymoon added to that, he had to adjust his life accordingly. Looking back, it was difficult to understand how everything had unraveled so quickly. Shelby had once been a promising and ambitious individual, yet she found herself trapped by the decisions she made. There was a part of me that felt sorry for her, but there was also a part of me that understood why my brother couldn't keep supporting her. They had both made choices, and the consequences of those choices were now inescapable. As for Shelby's return to her mother's place, it was hard to imagine how it all worked out. The two women, both without jobs and both struggling in their own ways, had a complicated dynamic. They hadn't been close before, but now they were thrown together in an attempt to navigate their lives. It wasn't the kind of situation anyone would want to find themselves in, yet there they were, both searching for stability in a world that had proven unpredictable and unkind. 2 months of constant arguments about who would be the one to find work was an exhausting ordeal. It wasn't just about money anymore, it was about power, control, and desperation. Each day, it seemed like the tension grew thicker, and the frustration was palpable. When they were kicked out of their apartment, it felt like the final straw. The once comfortable living situation had deteriorated to the point where they couldn't even keep a roof over their heads. Now, as time had passed, I wonder where they are and how they're managing. I never expected that things would escalate in such a way, but life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges at people. It's strange to think about how quickly things can change and how lives can shift in the blink of an eye. The fact that I've lost track of them is almost fitting in a way. It's as if they've fallen off the radar, their paths diverging from mine in a way I never anticipated. In the end, the whole experience was a reminder of how fragile plans and relationships can be. No matter how much we try to control our lives, there are always variables that are beyond our grasp. Shelby's decisions, my brother's commitment, and the aftermath of it all serve as a lesson in how quickly things can unravel, and how sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we can't undo the damage that's already been done. Now, as I reflect on it, I realize that there's nothing more I can do for them. Their story has taken its course, and I have to accept that. All I can do is move forward with my own life, hoping that they eventually find some kind of resolution, even if it's not the one I would have hoped for. The past is behind me, and all I can do is focus on the future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.